Welcome to Yury Experience, and today I want to talk to you about right-left political duality. Somehow recently I make a lot of videos about words that people use and use a lot, but what people use not in a correct way, or people have some misconceptions in terms of these words. I don't try to tell you how to use language, because to be honest with you, English is not even my first language, it is my third language, which is why do use the language however you want. But when you know more about the concept behind the word, you can use your language clearer and the probability of other people understanding you is higher. And today I want to talk about left wing versus right wing. Does this system even make sense? This political duality theoretical system that some parties can be pushed in one wing and in other ones in different one, and that all people can be assigned to one or another group. Let's talk about it. But obviously before we start I have to tell you that this is Yury Experience, and here I share my various experiences about different topics. I do 2 videos per week, Mondays and Thursdays. If you will enjoy this video, please push a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. Let's start. First, history. If you don't know that, this whole terminology of left wing, right wing came from France, and specifically from one of the French revolutions. This revolution led to people having different opinions about political state in the country. Some people wanted monarch to stay as a person of power and have a lot of power, almost undivided power, and other people said no, let's divide power a little bit, let us have some form of republic. And during the meetings where they discussed the future of the country or current political state, they decided to sit with people with same opinions or with similar opinions. What led to all of the people who had this opinion, monarch shall stay, we need to try not to change a lot, all of them sat right from the chairperson, and other people who wanted reforms, who wanted changes, sat left from the chairperson. And all the other people who were like somewhere in the middle, they were in the middle. This not so difficult system allowed people to have a little bit less discussions not about the point and more discussions about political state. So basically people didn't have to fight because the person right from them had completely different opinion in terms of how the country shall move on. The person right to them had similar opinion, which led to more objective discussions overall. This system changed a little bit over time, and especially what people understood under right wing and left wing changed over time, but the overall meaning remained same. Right wing is normally associated with having same values, with conservative values, with trying not to change too much, and left wing is normally associated with reforms. Let us fight for some different kinds of freedom, let us change something. And depending on the fact what program does some specific political party have, depending on that, this party will be associated with right wing or left wing politic position, I would call it like that. And normally for USA, for example, we have Republicans and Democrats, and Republicans are normally associated with right-wing politics and Democrats are normally associated with left-wing politics. That is all good and fine, and it kinda makes sense to still keep this terminology. But there are some problems to it, and that's where I will start adding context, which will lead, at least in my opinion, to this point. This system does and doesn't make sense simultaneously. This theoretical system, this model, works only if you can clearly assign the party to some specific group. So basically there's a list of values that right-wing politics support and list of values which left-wing politics support, and if a party like makes a like yes, 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 yes in all the positions, then this party belongs to this specific group, so to this wing. But it is not always the case. Depending on what we are talking about, depending on what X we are talking about social X, so this more conservative people, or people let us invite more people from other countries, maybe economy, maybe how much the government need to go in the life of ordinary people and how much government shall regulate the life of ordinary people. Depending on these various options, the party will go or will not go to this specific wing. The amount of options is just way too big in order to assign some party specifically, yes, it is only right wing or it is only left wing. On a lot of occasions, this party has a lot of opinions which are in a line of right wing ideology, but some of their opinions are in the line of left wing ideology. For example, if a country has pretty conservative opinions in terms of social values, so for example, all immigrants shall stay outside, which is normally associated with right-wing politics, but the same party says we actually need a lot of government in the regulating of the market, on the economical market, which is normally associated with left-wing politics. We have a party which has pretty mixed opinions. Depending on the fact how mixed are the opinions, maybe this party shall be considered centrist or maybe moderate left, moderate right, and not completely left, completely right. But overall, it is difficult to find a party which which only follows these ideas, this list of ideas which came from this specific wing and has nothing to do with ideas from another wing. Like only this, only hierarchical structure, only no involvement of government in the market, only like I don't know, maybe monarchy or conservative values. Like no. Or maybe it is possible if only one party exists, then yes, but overall, as long as we have more than one party, we have conflict of ideas, and normally both parties need to work together in order to make any decision, which leads to the fact that not all of the decisions that maybe a party would like to have are really possible for that party to achieve. When we go away from two-party political system as it is, for example, in the USA, and we go to many political parties system, I hope it is understandable, then sometimes we kinda can understand why this party is on the left or on the right. For example, if a party is a really big pusher for communism, obviously that party is left-wing, because pretty much everything that comes with communism is in the left wing. It is practically how left-wing is defined, depending on what list of definitions you find. So yes, obviously, if party goes for communism, or for example on the other part of the spectrum, if the party goes for fascism, which is completely radical right-wing, yes, obviously that is easier than to put this specific party in the specific category. But again, a lot of parties which even sound sometimes conservative, for example, there's a political party CDU in Germany, which is Catholic Democratic Party, which shall be pretty conservative, but currently it is kind of centristic, at least in points of different views that it has. It is not that conservative anymore because that party needs to work with other parties and need to adjust its list of wishes in order for people to vote for the party and in order for that party to stay in power. It is currently one of the main powers in Germany. So it is not that easy to just push a party in a specific group. To be honest with you, everything that I told until now is not that important. At least for most people, or for me personally, it is not that important to understand whether a party is on the left side or on the right side of the spectrum. Because at the end of the day, I would rather look in the list of their wishes or what they promise and then understand whether I want to vote for this party or not, than just thinking, yes, they are left, then I need to vote for them. Or they are right, I need to vote for them. It doesn't make sense in my head. I know for a lot of people it does, and I will touch that right now. but for me it doesn't. But why it is actually important to understand why this right-left wing system is not really good working, or actually is not real in real life, is because people assign people to right or left based on some of their opinions, and based on that they build groups of ideas, and if you don't belong to our group, you are a bad person. Typical stuff. Like, it doesn't matter where you will look, you will find that kind of stuff everywhere, like groups building, and people outside of my group are bad people. Pretty much same stuff here. You may have one opinion that aligns with right-wing politics. All of the other opinions you have are in the line of left-wing politics. You will be thrown in the right-wing direction, and then somehow people as a family gathering don't want to talk to you anymore. Or on the other hand, you have a lot of right-wing positions, but once you told somebody, yes, it would be actually nice to have public healthcare, and then at once you became the main person in the left-wing system because you have one opinion which correlates with left-wing positions. That is the reason why, in my opinion, this left-right-wing system is really narrow-minded. So not that you are narrow-minded if you believe in it, but more this system doesn't have a lot of coverage. My point is following: there are a lot of points, there are a lot of categories in the political world which can be divided in left or right-wing position. As I mentioned already, there are political structure, social structure, economical structure, foreign politics, not foreign politics. There are a lot of questions that each party or each wing decides for themselves how to answer. And if you are a specific person, you are allowed to have mixed opinion. You are allowed to have the opinion, I want from that a little bit, and I want from that a little bit, and I want to try to cover that a little bit too. So I want to have this specific way of social hierarchy, I want this amount of involvement of government in the market, and I would prefer to have this kind of healthcare. You are allowed to have this opinion. Yes, it may be difficult afterwards to find a political party that supports your opinion, and then you need to think, okay, that party supports that, but also it supports that, and that party supports that, but it doesn't support that, so you need to think a little bit about that too. But that is kind of what you shall do anyways. What I don't like is people throwing other people in one specific category and saying you are not worthy of sharing an opinion because you are from a different party. So it doesn't matter whether you have a lot of opinions maybe from the same party, from the same wing, but you have one opinion from a different one, you doesn't belong to us. It doesn't make sense. And similarly, if you have centristic opinions, or you have various opinions, or you can see why this part says that and this wing says something different, if you can understand all of that and say, yes, I understand it, and I kind of don't want to associate myself with both sides because both of them are kind of wrong and kind of right, you are still in the wrong because you are a centrist, you are sitting on the fence, and you can decide. Yay. This is only one system. There, for example, also the political horseshoe system, which is, in my opinion, not much better, a little bit better if at all. And overall, I understand why both wings exist. There is a saying that right wing normally supports ideas of people from high status, left wing supports people of low status, and centrists support people of middle class, so like low class, middle class, high class, or however it is called. So each party, it does make sense that each party exists, and the more parties we have, in my personal opinion, the better it is, which is why I personally don't like USA political system. My personal thing. But anyway, don't forget that it is pretty broad idea. This whole political world is pretty broad idea. And yet there are a lot of people who just throw themselves completely in one wing and ignore another wing. So I understand where this way of thinking comes from, but I want to encourage you to think broader, to understand that a person can have different reasons, different values, and maybe not of them are against your personal values, and maybe that person doesn't really go against you. This person just have different reasonings. Ask, talk, experience, That's my overall thing on this channel. But except for that, I hope you enjoyed the video. You can also leave a comment if you have different opinion about this political ideology. And yes, like, subscribe, have a great week, have a great weekend. Yes, I'll see you on Monday.